In today's economic storm, people's retirement accounts are being devastated. Consumers are searching for a safe place to put their money. Are you feeling the same? If you are, please get ready to listen and learn about a new concept that will give you financial security and peace of mind. Now, here is the host of Become the Banker, certified financial planner and award-winning author, Joseph Quijano.
We want to thank you guys coming in. I actually am Jordan Quijano here today, filling in for my father. He is taking a needed vacation out to Iowa, his home state there. You know, he was born in Mexico but grew up in Iowa, and this is just a great time for him to get out there with his wife and enjoy. So I want to thank you listeners and appreciate you guys having me in. I was in last week, and again, we are a family-owned business. So I am working with my father on the daily. But Jordan Quijano here. I want to thank you all for tuning in. We're going to talk about today really how to get ahead financially in today's economy, and more so, how to avoid the pitfalls of what brings our financial accounts down. You know, it doesn't have to always be the transparent stock market dropping or areas that are so known to us that bring our accounts down, like credit card debt. But a lot of times it's what we call the hidden thieves or hidden financial thieves that are in the background that really take our money. So again, we're going to be talking about how to build your money, avoiding the two financial thieves in today's economy. As well, I want you to ask yourself, have you ever wondered why some people achieve financial success and financial, clarity, while others seem to sometimes fail or sometimes have a pitfall or a hole that doesn't get them ahead financially? So we're going to be covering that. Again, have you ever wondered if some people have achieved their financial success and what made them achieve that, while others have had some obstacles and haven't had the perfect path for financial certainty? Well, let's jump into a little bit here. We just recently came off of our webinars last week, and I got to tell you, we had an incredible showing on how people from viewers yourself and as well as the advertising we do on TV. And this is a great time to be talking about building your money in a secure and certain way. There's too many uncertainties in today's life, and this is why with Become the Banker, we only focus on safe money strategies. That means absolutely no risk, and it allows you to have that ability to protect your money in any economy. We all know that the economy could be in a great place, a great position, and just like we recently experienced with this epidemic, it came out of nowhere. And it absolutely took a toll on our economy and our retirement accounts. So you have to have safety nets in place for uncertain times just like now, because we all try to plan for the unexpected, but sometimes the unexpected isn't always seen or what you could plan for. Now, getting into these financial thieves that we really, really want to focus on, we say that there's two big financial thieves in today's world, but truly, I think there's three. And I'll share with you one by one, and we'll go in depth as to how you can avoid them and really how to put yourself in the right position to getting ahead financially. So let's talk about thief number one. I look at it as the banks, the good old banks. We know right now you put your money in the bank, the local bank. And really, the most simplistic form of looking at what a bank is, a lot of people say it's a lending institution or the easiest way I look at it is just a warehouse of money. That's all they are. It's just a warehouse of money or a pool of money. They don't create any products there. They don't sell any products, even though they give you donuts and iPod if you open up an account. They don't make any of that there. This is why banks are one of the best businesses in the world. They're born to make money. They are able to hold people's money, use the flow of money like we talked about last week's show, and lend it out and be able to just keep on making money over money on your money. But today's world, what are the banks paying us to hold our money? They're giving us absolutely nothing. I mean, you'd be lucky to get 1%, maybe 2% at some credit unions today's world, But that's very a far cry. Most people are getting a 0.5%, and that's going to be taxed at the end of the year as well. So really, how much are you making at the end of the year if you're getting 1% and you're going to be taxed on that 1% at the end of the year? I was actually speaking to a client this last week, and she had about over $140,000 sitting in the bank. And this is why we were talking, because she got $12 last year as a return from the bank. $12 off of the $140,000 that she had. I mean, that is just, I honestly say it's almost humiliating that they're able to give us that low of interest, but they're more than happy to charge us 10, 15, 20% on credit cards. They'll charge you 3 to 2%, maybe even 4% on mortgages. And of course, automobile loans can be any from 2 to as high as 12%. And that's compound interest that they're charging on those debts while they're giving us what? That simple interest. It's humiliating. And so this thief number one, you got to look at all the interest that we're paying on all of the debts. We got to focus on credit card debts, mortgages, and automobile loans. The average family, if you look at every dollar that the average family makes here in America, in the U.S., the average family loses about 34.5% of every dollar they make in finance charges. And again, that's one credit card, one mortgage, one automobile. So for families who have 2 or 3 credit cards, 2 or 3 automobiles, maybe even more than one home or one mortgage, they're losing more than that. So 34.5% of every dollar they make is in finance charges. And again, how much is the bank giving you? Less than 1%. This is why, this thief right here makes so much money. And of course, we do need to keep the banks, unfortunately, around for our day-to-day expenses, our day-to-day financing. I mean, it'd be next to impossible to have in our economy or in our world right now to survive without banks, because it gives us the ease and the sake of simplicity of just being able to charge a card up, swipe a card. We don't really even use checkbooks anymore, but that used to be the way of buying items nowadays. But really, it's just charging a card, swiping it. So you have to have banks for going to get the groceries, going to fill up your car with gas, and that's what our whole economy is based around. So unfortunately, even though this is one of the biggest thieves that we face in our economy, they're weaved so deep into our economy that you can't just get rid of banks. And this is why, Become the Banker, our focus is try to help eliminate what we can from banks. And I think the biggest area that you can save money is finance charges. Again, that 34.5% of every dollar that a family spends. Let's redirect that into your pocket so that can be your money that you're saving for tomorrow's future, for retirement. You could be the bank, and that's where our whole name, Become the Banker, comes in play, is really because of this entity. They are born to make money, and we believe that you can make money by just using the same methods that the banks have used for hundreds of years to make money. And the biggest one is that flow of cash, the flow of money, but redirecting it back to your pocket. So today's world, all you have to do is build a pool of money or a warehouse of money, like I mentioned before, away from the banks. And the second thief is the government. And I'll talk about that here in the second half. But the government's the other half of that. So we have to build money, a pool of money that's away from the banks, away from the government, so that you can have access to these funds at any point that you want to. And if you have any purchases, like a vehicle, like a college education, a home, a vacation, just like my father's doing right now, this is a great way to use your Become the Banker policy. You take it, you borrow it out. Now, you can still charge your card, get your points, get your miles, whatever you prefer from your credit card. But the key is you have to pay it off before the interest hits. We all have good intentions when it comes to charging a card, but there's too many times in today's economy that you charge it up thinking you're going to pay it off, but then something else comes up. Life throws us these curveballs. You might be laid off. You might be furloughed. You might have this pandemic that we've just experienced impact your plans. And now you're left on the hook for paying that bill plus the interest. So get the points, get the free miles, but pay it off before the interest hits. And with the Become the Banker account, again, charge your card up, and before that interest hits, borrow the money out of your account, pay off the credit card, pay off the bank. And that way, now you owe yourself back what you should be paying the bank at a traditional interest rate. So if you can turn that 34.5% of every dollar around right back into your pocket, do you think that's going to help you get ahead financially? Will that help you retire at a feasible age? I mean, today's retirement's getting pushed further and further out from what we planned for. I think 65, 66, unfortunately, is not as realistic as it once was. I think it's 72, 73 is the new retirement age, unfortunately, but that's just coming with our playground, with our economy that we're in. So, if you want to retire in those early years, at 60 or 66, all it takes is building that pool of money and be able to put the money aside religiously with the discipline of knowing the goal is to retire early. So that's thief number one. I really want us to just think about that, how we can stop the bleeding to the banks. We make them enough money, but ultimately, we still have to keep them because, again, the ease of our society runs off of banks. So looking at that, with our concepts, we talk about getting people out of debt in 9 years or less. And this happens time and time again with families that we meet every week. 9 years or less, and even individuals. If you could get out of debt, pay off your cars, your credit cards, mortgages, any personal loans, student loans, and be out of debt again on that mortgage without refinancing in 9 years or less, call it even 10 years, would you be happy? I think that gives the financial peace of mind that it allows you to sleep at night without the worry of what this bill is going to be next month. Or if I'm going to be able to make that payment because, again, maybe we lost a job, maybe the hard times have hit. That is the peace of mind that we try to share and enlighten all of our clients with by getting them out of debt. So 9 years or less, and saving all that interest that they would have paid to the banks or credit card companies back in their pocket to help build for tomorrow's future. We are going to be having some seminars coming up here soon. Again, we hold them typically once a month. We'll hold 2 seminars. And we just finished up July's, so we're going to be going into our next little seminar campaign, which will be August. And we're looking at August 18th, that is a Tuesday, and August 20th, which is a Thursday. Both of them are going to be at 6:30 p.m., and they're going to be by webinar. So go to our website, please, at becomethebanker.info, INFO, or you can just go to becomethebanker.org, whichever you prefer, and you're able to sign up for the up-and-coming webinar. Easy. You don't have to leave your house, sit down with your significant other, even your children, and be able to make an event out of it. That will give you the first tool to building that financial clarity. So again, go to becomethebanker.info or becomethebanker.org, and you'll be able to see our upcoming events to be able to talk about how to get you out of debt and how to build your money. We're going to be taking a short break here for the first part of the show, and we're going to be returning to the second thief that we all are facing in today's economy. So stay tuned, and this is Jordan Quijano with Become the Banker.
If what you thought to be true about money turned out not to be true, when would you like to know about it? Most of us have been taught wrong about money either by our family or friends. Our school system does not have any curriculum to teach us how money really works and how to make our money grow without risk in any economy. By tuning into Become the Banker radio show with certified financial planner Joseph Quijano, you'll learn the truth about money and strategies to help you grow your money without risk. Are you ready to thrive financially in the economy? Listen for Become the Banker radio show every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is Become the Banker radio show with certified financial planner Joseph Quijano. To participate in today's show, call in the U.S. 815-880-8255, Canada 613-800-8736, or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. You could also ask to comment by email to joseph@becomethebanker.org or text to 303-880-0887.
Well, thank you guys for tuning back with us here. Again, this is Jordan Quijano with Become the Banker, filling in for Joseph Quijano this week. As I mentioned in the first half, he is on a well-needed vacation in Iowa, which, I think I alluded to it a little bit in the beginning of the episode, but for anybody who's just tuning into our segment here, to our show, a little bit about my father. He's a tremendous story of rags to riches. I mean, for a great story, he's written 3 books on this. And being born in Mexico City at a very disadvantaged economic situation, he came from very humble beginnings, to the point where his mother, would make his clothes for him. It was that part of his life that really inspired him to do better. And thank goodness, his sister had married an American doctor who lived in Iowa. And they offered the opportunity for my father to go out and learn English for 6 months and then to go back to Mexico to be able to have a better opportunity of making a career or a better lifestyle for him and his family. Well, I got to tell you, he talks about this all the time, that when his plane landed in Des Moines, Iowa, he really thought that he died and went to heaven, because it was the first time that he saw grass and pastures all around, just prominent and free around the plane and around the runway, where Mexico City, you only see concrete. You only have the parks, and it's so much smog and so much just pollution, not only just regular pollution, but noise pollution, being the city, one of the largest cities in the world. So he truly attests his whole career and his life to not only that opportunity when he landed, but also to have his mother give him that opportunity at the age of 12 years old. This is when all this happened. He was 12 years old, and he ended up asking if he could stay and be able to learn more, go through school, and become a citizen. And for his mother to allow that to happen at that age, at 12 years old, while she still stayed back in Mexico, you got to ask yourself, she really put all of her pain and suffering aside to give him success, as I think most mothers would do. But if you're a mother out there or a grandparent, just think about how hard that would be at the age of 12 years old to send your child, your only child at that, only boy, across to a different country, not knowing anybody other than his sister. I mean, that to me is an amazing story. So I'll let him share more of that. But I just want you to know that is why he's back in Iowa right now, being able to revisit his stomping grounds, his learning grounds, and he's with my stepmom, Kimberly, and they're able to just enjoy that time together. So getting back to before the show here, we were talking about the three thieves. The two thieves is really what we started with, but I want to add a third thief in there because there really is three thieves in today's economy, in today's financial world. We talked about the banks being thief number one. They are the ones who make the money off of you. You leave the money in their accounts. You earn basically nothing. Yet they charge you an arm and a leg for a credit card, for a vehicle loan, for a mortgage, and they do it with a smile. So that's what thief number one. The thief number two is the government. And we all love this country. You know, even talking about my father there, he defended this country during the Vietnam era, and that's how he became a citizen. He was naturalized after his service. So we love this country. We all pay our taxes, but I got to tell you, taxes are getting outrageous. We truly are losing too much money to taxes in today's world. And this is why I consider them to be a second thief. If you look at our national debt that we are all holding today, it's over $20 trillion. $20 trillion. And you're telling me that taxes aren't going to go up to pay for that? I mean, our system's broke. There's no way that we are going to be able to see us pay that debt off in our lifetime, or even my lifetime, or even my kid's lifetime. I mean, that's a tremendous amount of debt. I don't think we fathom how many zeros that is at the end of the number there. Over $20 trillion. That's just crazy to me to say that. But why we consider them a thief is because we, the average American family here, pay close to 36% of every dollar we make in taxes. I'm not just talking about income tax. Some people say, oh no, I only pay 22%, or only pay 27%, or no. I'm talking about all taxes. When you go and fill your car up with fuel, what do you pay? You pay taxes. When you go eat dinner, you pay for the nice meal, you pay for the tip, but there's also another line item there, taxes. Every item that you purchase in today's world, you pay taxes on it. So when you add up every tax that you pay on the day-to-day, plus your income tax, the average family is losing 36% of every dollar they make in the form of taxes. Well, how much are we losing to the banks? For all you listeners out there that were taking notes, we're losing 34.5% of every dollar we make to finance charges with the banks. And that's again on one credit card, one mortgage, one automobile loan. So we're losing a little bit more than a third to the banks. And now we're losing 36%, again, of every dollar, of that same dollar, to Uncle Sam in the form of taxes. So what are we left to live on? Less than 30%. Less than a third of a dollar of every dollar we make is what we have to use to not only pay for our expenses, for our groceries, for gasoline, for going to eat out, but also that's the money that we're expected to build a retirement off of. That's the money that's expected to build a savings account. 36%. I mean, it's unbelievable how much we're losing. So if we're only making a third of every dollar we make, or a little bit less, obviously, than a third of every dollar we make, this is why we have the worst savings rate in the world. not just here, by state. I'm talking about in the world, we have the worst savings rate because of that formula right there. It's too hard to get ahead. I think even the most recent articles, if you look at any of them, it's next to impossible for people to come up with a few $100s as an emergency fund right now. This is why they're saying that this is a terrifying time, that there's probably going to be another crash in this market because people are getting, still, the unemployment's very high. People are coming to the point where their paychecks of not only paychecks, but their supplemental income from the government stopping here, and usually a lot of the rent help or the mortgage help that they're providing, it all stops this month. So people are looking at this and they're saying, if I still don't have a job, or if I can't even come up with a few $100s of savings for any emergency, what are they going to do? More than likely they're going to go in debt and finance more debts, and that's to go back to thief number one. But to echo point, thief number two here with the government, how do we protect ourselves? How do we save ourselves from this thief? Well, of course, we're always going to have taxes. I mean, that's the reality of this. The two guarantees that we always kind of make a joke of is death and taxes, right? I mean, there's no way to skip death. At least we haven't found a way yet. And there's really no way to skip taxes. So, what can you do? You can limit your taxes. That's what you could do. You can look for your write-offs. We all try that as most as we can. If you're self-employed, I mean, that's all that you run off of is write-offs. That's how you get ahead financially. Being self-employed, you have to have write-offs. But for the families, for the average individual out there, how can you get ahead? How can you make that 36% less? Well, with Become the Banker, our philosophy is building tax-free money. If you have a 401k, if you have an IRA, because you took the tax break now, that's okay. But you shouldn't have only a 401k. That is the problem we're seeing with most retirees, is that's all they have. They have no tax-free money. So even when they're in retirement, they're still going to be paying this tax bill for the rest of their life. And at what tax bracket, who knows? We all think that there's an illusion of that you're going to be in a lower tax bracket because you're going to be making less money. Honestly, two sides to that. I don't want to be in a lower tax bracket when I'm retired. I want to be making the same amount of money, if not more, because I didn't work my whole life to not enjoy retirement. The whole idea is to make enough money to enjoy yourself and to go do the luxuries that you have saved your whole life for. And the second point to that is, even if you are in a lower tax bracket, the government can change the tax rate at any moment, at a blink of an eye. At a blink of an eye. And with this debt that we're talking about, where is the tax bracket going to go? Where are the tax rates going to go? I don't have a crystal ball, but I'm just saying with a good feeling here, with a good hunch, I have a good idea that they're going up and they're not going down. So for anybody who's retiring now, anyone who's going to be retiring here in the next 5 years, the next 10 years, the next 15 or 20 years, they're going to be facing this tax crisis for the rest of their retirement. You have to build tax-free money. There's no two ways about it. Tax-free money is worth the tax hit, if you want to consider it. Pay the tax hit now and let it grow tax-free for the rest of your life. The analogy that I always look to is if you were a farmer, and you were going to plant a seed in the ground, would you rather pay taxes on the seed that you plant in the ground now, or pay taxes at the harvest once that seed grows into a tremendous amount of harvest? Think about that. Would you rather pay taxes on the seed in the ground when it's small and it's little, or pay taxes on the harvest at the end? Well, tax-free money, a Roth, or Become the Banker strategy, using what we're talking about here, that's paying taxes on the seed right now. You don't pay taxes at the end on the harvest like you do with a 401k or an IRA. And again, at what tax rate, who knows? Well, we're coming into our third part of the show, or a little break here, so please stay tuned. We're going to share with you the third thief and how to get ahead, again, in today's economy. This is Jordan Quijano with Become the Banker, and stay tuned for the show.
If what you thought to be true about money turned out not to be true, when would you like to know about it? Most of us have been taught wrong about money either by our family or friends. Our school system does not have any curriculum to teach us how money really works and how to make our money grow without risk in any economy. By tuning into Become the Banker radio show with certified financial planner Joseph Quijano, you'll learn the truth about money and strategies to help you grow your money without risk. Are you ready to thrive financially in the economy? Listen for Become the Banker radio show every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific.
Investments hit all-time lows, except for Become the Banker. Do you know how much money was lost in those accounts? Not one penny. Become the Banker is a safe, guaranteed return of 4% plus a 1% dividend. In a nutshell, you overfund life insurance on purpose to build a tax-sheltered cash account for retirement and for loaning to yourself along the way and not losing to the stock market. BecomeTheBanker.org. You owe it to yourself to go to the next seminar. BecomeTheBanker.org. Who's laughing now?
This is Become the Banker radio show with certified financial planner Joseph Quijano. To participate in today's show, call in the U.S. 815-880-8255, Canada 613-800-8736, or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. You could also ask to comment by email to joseph@becomethebanker.org or text to 303-880-0887.
Well, thank you, folks, for coming back to the show. Again, this is Jordan Quijano with Become the Banker here, filling in for Joseph Quijano. And I just want to keep on thanking you guys for just tuning in today. I mean, this is a timely matter to be talking about getting ahead in today's world. And I really want to thank Inspired Choices Network, who's hosting our show today. So please go to the website. Ask any questions you have directly to us there. You can listen into the show at any point on inspiredchoicesnetwork.com, and that'll allow you to be able to get the direct contact to us and give us a call. So we really do thank you guys for hosting us. Now, let's talk about what we have been going on through this whole theme of the show, which is the thieves of today's financial economy. Now, there might be many more thieves out there, but these are the three most prominent thieves out there that we all, unfortunately, lose money to on the day-to-day. We talked about thief number one being the banks, and again, losing 34.5% of every dollar we make to that thief. Thief number two, we just finished off with the government. We all love this country. We all pay our taxes, but we lose 36% of every dollar we make in the form of taxes, not just income tax, but all taxes. So that leaves us with less than a third of all of our money we make to be able to invest for our retirement future. And even less than that, because obviously we have to pay groceries and expenses out of that. So I'm guessing you could assume who thief number three is. If we're taking this money and we're investing it, like I left the second segment off with, we should be building tax-free money to avoid the government's taxes in the future. I mean, you're always going to pay taxes, and that's paying taxes today, but you should build that money tax-free because it's worth its weight in gold. Going forward, staying tax-free and more than likely with the tax rate going up just means that money is going to be worth tremendously more money in the future. And one piece on that before I go to the third thief here, ask yourself, I mean, if you could park money in a tax-free area like Roth accounts, why are we limited to putting money into that account? Why does the government do such a good job of capping how much money we can put into that retirement account? For an individual, it's $6,500 a year. If you're over the age of 55, well, you get an extra $500. Woohoo! You can do $7,000 a year if you're over the age of 55. As a married couple, you can get $14,000 at that point. Even if you as an individual capped out an IRA Roth, a Roth retirement account, from the age of 20 or even 25, let's say 25, you get out of college, you're making decent money a few years, start paying your loans back so you have enough to retire or start building retirement. But let's just say from the age of 25 all the way to 65, 40 years of contributing $6,500, that's still not going to be enough money to retire on fully. That's terrifying to know that. 40 years times $6,500, that's $260,000 that you are able to stuff away in a tax-free account. And let's just assume that you maybe double, triple that, to maybe 500 to maybe 750,000. Even though it is tax-free, and yes, that carries its weight, that is still not enough money to retire on only that account. So you ask yourself, why does the government limit us only to $6,500 a year? Do you think these accounts are made for them or for us? Will they let you basically put almost unlimited contributions in the taxable bucket? They're counting on your money at retirement. Even though you're done working, you're not paying into any more Social Security or any other tax streams, you're collecting all the hard work. What do you still have to do? You still pay taxes. So it's never done. They're counting on your money at retirement. So you have to build tax-free money, even outside of a Roth, and that's where Become the Banker, we thrive in that because you can have unlimited contributions into these plans. And guess what? They're tax-free, just like a Roth. These are almost like Roths on steroids. You're able to put as much money as you want into these accounts. We have people that put over $100,000 a year, and we have people that only do $200 a month. I mean, it's completely up to you. But this is a great way to help build that retirement so that it's tax-free. Thief number 3 is Wall Street, stock market. They even have made movies about this over the years. The Big Short. I think we all saw what happened in 2007, 2008. Where does all this money go when there's a huge crash in the market? It's like a black hole. It goes into somebody's pocket. Doesn't go into ours, though. I mean, when you really look at investing over the life of the last 20 or 30 years, it's shocking to see the return from if you started in like 1998 all the way to 2019. We have charts of this, and we love going over these charts in our webinars, so please sign up for our webinars. We have them, and we share these detailed charts showing if somebody invested $100,000 in the year 1998 and just let it ride, they rode it out all the way to 2019, this most recent year, even kind of right before all of this big crash has happened. And it's crazy to see. I will say crazy when you see the ups and downs, roller coasters that 100,000 goes through. Just off the top of my memory here, I don't have it in front of you, but I know from 1998 to 2001, you made some money, and then the dot-com era crash happened, and people lost money. So from, I believe it was up to about 137,000 or 130,000 in 2001, and then the market crashed. And it brought the account all the way down, under the 100, all the way down to 70,000. So not only did you lose the money you made, but you lost the initial investment of $30,000. And it took another 10 years, basically call it about 7 years, I should say, to make it get back to a profit, or back to almost barely back to that back to that 137,000 mark that you made in 2001 before the crash. And then what happened? 2008, mortgage collapse. So your once 130,000 has now dropped even lower, down to 65,000. For us to grow the money again, and here we are with a huge crash. The market takes expertise of being able to time it. And honestly, people can make some great money in the market if they're having a full-time job of watching the stock market ticker every day at every moment from opening to close. Yeah, they can make some decent money. But for the average Joe, for the average you and I, what do we do with our money? What do we do with our 401k accounts? What do we do with our IRAs? We entrust it with these big brokerage firms. We entrust it with these big holding tanks and say, hey, you know what? They're going to make me money. When again, the risk and responsibility is truly on you as the individual. If you lost money, what do they say to you? Sorry, it's not our fault. I'm not going to say, we made a bad investment for you. We're sorry, we'll refund you the money. No, what do they say? You knew the risk that you were taking in this, and if you didn't like the loss, you should have changed your allocation. That's the sad reality of the market. People can make some money, but most people don't. And for you to be on this up and down roller coaster throughout your whole life, going up, down, with only that little bit of money that we have left out of the money that we're left with, that 30% or 31% that's left over, that we're supposed to be saving on, that we're supposed to be building a retirement on, now we have to gamble it away? No, that's not okay. The only market exposure that most of us should be our 401k or IRAs, or any retirement plan at that, 457, 403b. And if you're getting a match, then that's okay. Take advantage of the match. You're getting 5% match, you put 5%. Free money at 100% or even at 50% rate, even if they're only matching you 50% of every dollar you put in. You can't get that in the market right off the bat like that. So take the free money. Get the free money and be able to let it grow for you. Anything over that, though, most of us, unfortunately, don't know where to park the money anywhere else. They don't want to do it at the savings account because you earn nothing. So they end up maxing their match maybe to 10 or 11%. When, again, all they're getting is the first 5% benefit from the company. The other 6%, all they're doing is locking that money up, hoping the market is up when they retire, and hoping that taxes are low. That's a lot to bank off of when you're in retirement years. You have to spread your risk, and you have to have some guaranteed accounts that will have nothing to do with the stock market and nothing to do with taxes. That is where Become the Banker comes in. You build the account absolutely tax-free, and the market has nothing to do with your account here. With the Become the Banker product, you get a guaranteed 4% rate of return. It'll never go up. It'll never go down. That is the guarantee. It's 4%. Now, that's a tax-free 4%. So really, that's almost equal to maybe 7 or 8% taxable. Because after you had a taxable investment of 8%, maybe even 9%, and you net out after you pay taxes, you probably net out about 4%. What's giving you 8 or 9% today that's guaranteed with absolutely no risk? And I mean absolutely zero risk. Can't even drop $1 or 1 penny. Nothing. Nothing is giving you that today. So have a guaranteed 4% tax-free rate of return. That's a pretty dang good investment to be in, or a good product. Now, on top of the 4%, they also give dividends. These companies we work with are over 100 years old, and they give dividends on top of the 4%, and all a dividend is a profit of the company. But guess what? With this product, because it's specialized, the dividend is also tax-free. Unlike a stock dividend, unlike a credit union dividend, where those are taxable, this is also tax-free. So let's just say you're getting a 1% dividend. You're earning 5% tax-free. It's phenomenal. You can't get that anywhere else. Your money's growing, guaranteed, it's tax-free, and it's liquid for you to use now to pay off those debts. And that's how we show families how to get out of debt in 9 years or less. We have a systematic strategy of showing you how to do that with no matter how many debts you have. Now, we're going to go to one more break here, and we're going to finish off the show strong because I'm feeling it right now. This is a great segment. So please stay tuned. This is Jordan Quijano with Become the Banker, and we'll talk to you here shortly.
If what you thought to be true about money turned out not to be true, when would you like to know about it? Most of us have been taught wrong about money either by our family or friends. Our school system does not have any curriculum to teach us how money really works and how to make our money grow without risk in any economy. By tuning into Become the Banker radio show with certified financial planner Joseph Quijano, you'll learn the truth about money and strategies to help you grow your money without risk. Are you ready to thrive financially in the economy? Listen for Become the Banker radio show every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific.
Hello, I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino. For years, I've been telling you about a safe, secure investment that you can do for as little as $200 a month. Earnings grow tax-free. And better than that, during this recent stock market crash, they did not lose a penny. Even though investments hit all-time lows, those involved in Become the Banker are still earning their guaranteed return of 4% tax-free plus a 1% dividend. Isn't it time you at least investigate and possibly become the banker yourself? In a nutshell, you overfund life insurance on purpose to build tax-sheltered cash for retirement and for loaning to yourself for life's needs and pleasures, college, credit card debt, a mortgage. They can all be paid when you become the banker. Do yourself a favor. At least find out more. BecomeTheBanker.org. For the next webinar, that's BecomeTheBanker.org. And for a video review, BecomeTheBanker.info. It's time to take action and stop your losses. BecomeTheBanker.org.
This is Become the Banker radio show with certified financial planner Joseph Quijano. To participate in today's show, call in the U.S. 815-880-8255, Canada 613-800-8736, or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. You could also ask to comment by email to joseph@becomethebanker.org or text to 303-880-0887.
Well, hello, everybody, again. I want to thank you for coming back and closing the show out with me. We've talked about some great topics throughout this whole segment, and this is how it's going to be every week. I mean, we will be coming with up-to-date information, what is going on in today's economy, how to prevent yourself from falling in the loopholes or these pitfalls of losing your money, how to keep your money safe, just like today, from the thieves that we've been talking about. Just before the show, took a break there, I was talking about the stock market and really the realities and really what's behind the smoke and mirrors of the stock market. I mean, that's all we want to do is bring it to light, bring what's really happening in today's world. Like I mentioned, people can make some money in the stock market. I'm not saying you shouldn't have any money in the stock market. That's not what I'm saying at all. And I think that's where, some people might get a little gung-ho and talk about that you should only do this investment, you should only do that, and mine's better than the others, and blah, 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 blah. I mean, how are you able as a consumer to know what's right from up and down? There's a lot of static in the air. I don't blame you guys for being conservative and just holding on to your money. And I don't blame for people who have a lot of questions and they're skeptical. They should be. People should be skeptical in today's world, especially when we have people like the Bernie Madoffs and Ponzi schemes and all these horrible things that have happened to people over the years. It's okay to be skeptical. There's nothing wrong with that. We always invite for you to call us, email us, text us, or even meet with us on a one-on-one through webinar or face-to-face so that we can help answer all those questions for you. We have nothing to hide behind. We are so transparent, and I think that's why our firm thrives so well, is not only being a family-owned financial planning firm, maybe that's what sets us apart from others, but we are very transparent. We want to sit down with you, work specifically with you, and build a plan that's not only going to pay off the debts, and like we say, on average, 9 years or less, including the mortgage, but also how to build that money tax-free to protect it from taxes in the future, and how to build your money guaranteed to protect it from the stock market. That shouldn't be all of your money, but that should be the foundation of any financial plan. And that's what we focus on, is building you a sound foundation that will never lose you money. And we can say that. There's no other advisors or brokers, or honestly, most people would be terrified to say that statement, especially on air here, but you will never lose money on this two strategies. We only deal with two strategies with our firm. We talked about Become the Banker. That is the main strategy we use. That builds that guaranteed interest at 4% plus whatever the dividends are. It allows you to build your money tax-free with unlimited contributions, and it gives you access to your money today. You don't have to lock it up for the rest of your life until you're retired or until you're at the age of 59 and a half, like most accounts where you're tapped in with a 10% penalty before then. So let us sit down and help you, because you've got nothing to lose other than just a few 20 or 30 minutes of your time just to see what we are sharing with our clients, and that what we've been building our practice on for the last 40 to 50, actually I should say 40, almost 50 years. Yeah, it is almost 50 years, because my dad's been practicing this business for over 46 years now. It's a lifetime, almost over 46 years he's been in business in the financial market, in the financial arena, being a financial planner. We have a spotless reputation because of what we offer. You can't lose a dime. All of our clients that we've had over these last so many years, this last epidemic, they didn't lose a penny through this crash. They didn't lose a penny through the mortgage collapse. This is why they love this, and this is why we have such great clients. They are just like family to us, and they refer us business because they want their family members, they want their friends to be in the same position as them, which is debt-free and financial clarity of knowing that, my goodness, their mind's just at rest because they don't have to worry about the day-to-day of what's going to happen. So we really want to share that with you. We're going to be having some webinars. We do this usually once a month, to have webinars to talk about our two strategies. And today we really only talked about strategy number one, which is Become the Banker. These up-and-coming shows, next week and the following week, we'll dive into strategy number two. I just wanted you to realize that there's three thieves in today's world that you have to protect yourself from, even though it might seem impossible to do because it's the government, it's the banks, and it's the stock market. The three biggest entities that are out there, doesn't mean that you have to participate in opening your wallet to them every single month. You can protect yourself from them, and that's really what we pride our products on and our services. Is we're almost crusaders against the banks, against the government taxes, and most definitely against Wall Street and losing money. So next week we really are going to have some great topics on just how you can get ahead in, again, any world and any economy. But I want you to just think about today's segment and just realize, what can you do different in your life, in your financial life I'm talking about, of course, and maybe in your regular life, but what can you do differently to help save you more money, build you more money, and protect you? Next week we're going to be talking about the 3 buckets of money that everybody has. We only bring it down to, again, basics. I think of everything, all the accounts, no matter what the account is, it's a bucket of money. It could be a savings account, it could be a stock market account, it could be a retirement account. At the end of the day, it's a bucket. So you've got 1 bucket, 2 bucket, 3 buckets. Everybody has 3 buckets of money, and we're going to show you how to protect them. And this is going to follow up right with this week's segment, because not only are you going to protect them from these thieves, but how you can grow them to make sure that they're always making you money going forward. Well, I really do appreciate you all coming in today and sharing this. Always visit the website. Not only just becomethebanker.org to sign up and ask questions, but also inspiredchoicesnetwork.com to be able to type in any questions you have on the show, or if you ever want to call in and ask us questions live, we invite that. I'm Jordan Quijano with my father, Joseph Quijano, and we thank you.
Thank you for choosing to listen to Become the Banker radio show. Certified financial planner Joseph Quijano will return next Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific. Until then, remember, rich people think like rich people. Poor people think like poor people.